Recently, I've decided to try to create my own DIY potting mix or seed starting mix. I haven't decided yet. And so I just started with my ingredients were some eggshells, some worm castings, and also some topsoil. And this is the first scenario right here. And the reason why I decided to do this is because I'm not a big fan of like the cocoa coir, the peat moss, the vermiculite because of environmental reasons. So I was trying to see if I could create something. And the second one right here shows some topsoil with some worm castings. And then the third one is just some old potting mix. I know I said I'm against that, but I'm trying to get away from that. That's when I was a beginner and I didn't really know a lot about the environment in terms of these potting mixes. And then I also decided to add one more, which was just straight topsoil. So each scenario has different fertility and aeration components. And here I wanted to basically test how well does each soil drain and also hold on to moisture. Mind you, this test is a little bit wonky. It's not 100%, accurate, but it's kind of like an eyeball. If things go well, I will recreate it in a way that is more accurate. The first test right here is the one with obviously the eggshells, the topsoil, and the worm casting. So I'm just seeing like how quickly does the water leave the container. And also I would like to mention I got slits on the sides of these little compostable cups that are made from plants, and at the bottom I do have a drainage hole. Alright, so that's just a quick snapshot of how things are looking. And here's this oops, I spoke too soon. The next clip is basically showing how much was left after it was drained. And so here is the clip of what it looks like after it has been moistened. So it kind of looks like, dirt mixed with eggshells, honestly. Nothing too fancy. All right, number 2, we just have the topsoil with the worm castings. And I'm adding the water right here. Let's see how quickly it decides to drain. To me that looks like it's a little bit quicker compared to the first one. What do you guys think? Leave a comment down below. Or you can just wait until the rest of the scenarios are finished. Yeah, so that's draining pretty quickly. And I also have a picture towards the end that also kind of highlights some of this, so keep watching. And of course, this is another snapshot of what it looks like and what it looks like when it was moistened. So this one kind of looks more like mud. The one with the eggshells was a lot more, I guess you can say, fluffy, and it had larger particle sizes. All right, so this is the old potting mix that I had. There's a lot of like old roots in there because I did try to grow some things in there in the fall, and I'm just about to add water. Again, I'm not like doing this accurate. I'm just eyeballing it to give about the same amount. So we're just gonna see how this goes. It's all part of the process. So this drainage is I think it's looking like a medium maybe compared to the other two. It looks like it's similar to the one with the eggshells, the topsoil, and also the worm castings in terms of how quickly it drains. So let's see how much is left in the cup that's catching it, and also what does the cup look like. Okay, so that's what it looks like. Interesting. They all kind of look the same, and that's what it looks like after it was moistened. You see that perlite in there, the little white bits. Yeah, good old perlite. All right, so this is the last case, and this is just straight up topsoil. The little bits that you see in there is rocks, so I'm thinking that would be good drainage, good for aeration as well, because it's creating air pockets in the soil for the roots. I'm adding the water like I did to the other ones, and let's see the rate. That is going quickly. Kind of reminds me of scenario 2 with the topsoil and the worm castings. Yeah, that's moving rapidly. So it's something to analyze. A lot more. I don't know if that's because I poured more or it's because it drained more. And it looks like about the same consistency, but a little bit darker. All right, and so then we have the top. It's kind of like, muddy, and it's kind of like yucky, swampy type texture. And this is just me showing what they look like at the end. So I decided to sow some sunflower seeds for this experiment. I didn't want to use my vegetable seeds. I'm going to be sowing a lot of sunflower seeds for the spring. They're beautiful. All right, here I'm just preparing the little holes for the sunflower seeds. Recently I've kind of started using this stick thing. You kind of use it to stretch off. I don't know. It's a toy that you use it and you stretch off, almost like a lottery ticket type thing, and it reveals like a message or a color underneath. Anyway, my point I'm trying to make here is that you can use anything to help you out in your little garden. So whenever I removed the cups, I noticed how much liquid was left. And the right is the eggs, and then below that is the topsoil with the worm castings, and then the potting mix, and then the last one was just the straight up topsoil. So that was just another way to gauge how much liquid was being drained. And here I'm just showing what the surfaces look like, so you can take a look at the particle sizes, how much air you think is getting into the soil, how dense it is, how much moisture is being retained. Yeah, so this one is it's kind of looks like dirt that you would just dig up in your backyard. And then the potting mix one, you can definitely see the coco coir in there. This one is more, fluffier. It has a softer texture. And then the last one is very gritty, just a straight up topsoil one. And I'm going to just show a overview of what they look like. I put them in a little dome to start the germination process. And I'm really excited to see what happens. So subscribe if you want to know more. And I'll see you guys in the next one.